Hey guys, it's Silk here from Overdressed to Impress doing a deck profile for BT9's Avantgarda. So I'll go through some of the cards and why I play them. This is just a base build though, so it will be like subject to change, subject to test, but this is kind of what I found has worked when I played the game. So obviously we've got the ride line, you've got your blue Deathster Sora, which you have to use if you want to play the deck at all. That's your grade 0. You've got your grade 1, which is blue Deathster Dark, whatever he's called. So basically when you ride upon it with the grade 2, you get to search your deck for the grade 1 order. So I only run one of the grade 1 order because you get to search it, they're recurring, there's no way of it being removed from the game yet, so there's no need to run more than one. But if you do draw into it, which is nice, you get to call this as a rear guard. So I found that's quite a nice effect. Occasionally it does come into play, but not often. And then you've got your grade 2 that when you ride upon with Avantgarda, you get to search for the grade 2 order. Now this is probably one of the best orders in the deck situational though. The reason it's one of the best is because it stops your opponent intercepting and it gives your Vanguard 10k. And they can't use blitz orders, which is really nice. So it just depends on your locals and what you find that you're coming up against the most. If you find that they've got big interceptors, then maybe run more of this, but it has the same skill that if you have it in your hand, when you ride over, you can call this as a grade 2 rear guard. So that's quite nice. And then your grade 3, which is Avantgarda. He's amazing, he's cool. He looks like the Dragonic Overlord, but he is better because he's brand gate. Don't let anyone tell you differently. So he has a skill that says, if your soul has blue Deathster Sora in it, put a strategy from your order zone into the soul, draw a card, and then until the end of the turn, this card gains 5k. So he gets 5k, and then depending on the orders you choose, so this one will give 5k and retire a unit, this one will give 10k, so effectively giving it 15k. And then if you hit with your Vanguard and you haven't personaed, if you manage to hit, you get to counterblast 1, discard a card from hand, restand, lose 1 drive check, attack again. But if you've Persona Road, you get to do that regardless of hitting. So that's quite nice. So obviously you want as many of that in your deck as you can. So we've got the 3 Persona Rides for Avantgarda, and I'm running 1 gratis as well. So that's the ride line, talking about that with the Personas. And then we've got the orders. As I said, I run 1 of the grade 1, 1 of the grade 2, and I do run 2 of the grade 3. Now, I've seen a lot of deck profiles where people are running a lot more of these. I think you run out of deck space if you do that. And the reason is you get to search these 2 regardless, and then you have other cards in your deck which search for these. Now, these will give your front row basically another Persona Ride when used. So this card says, shock strategy, death wins. When this is put into the soul from the order zone and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets a skill. When this card attacks, all of your front row unit gain 5k for the turn. So it will attack twice because you have Persona Road, and so you're giving your 10k plus the 10k from this attacking twice. It's a really nice effect. But again, you can cycle through them so much with the deck. I don't see much point in running more than 2 1/1s. So that's the order lineup. The grade 3, I'm just running 2 of I can't even say this card, Ihalten Vogel. And what its skill is when this is placed on the rear guard, Soul Blast 1, Counterblast 1, search your deck for a grade 3 set order, reveal it and put it into your hand if you searched your deck. So you get to add that from your hand with this card. And then when you play an order, you get 5k from this card as well. So you'd be an 18k swing. He's nice, really nice grade 3. I only run 2 of it because I haven't, as I said, you cycle through the orders so much. I don't really need to worry too much about the orders not being seen because you'll always have minimum of the grade 1 and the grade 2 orders. My grade 2 lineup is a bit weird. There's a lot of 2-ofs because I don't feel like you need as many. So I'm running 2 Combine Rusher. I'm running 3 Enlightened Age Dragon, 2 Blue Deathster Assault, 3 Fighting Dragon, and 3 Operate Master Freiheits. As I said, this is a test build, so I will be changing a few things, but I'll talk about the reasoning of certain things. So for example, the reason I use the Deathster Assault is simple. He Soul Blasts 2 and then adds a grade 2 order back from the drop to your hand. So you can keep recycling that. It's a really nice skill. You're not losing anything as long as you do not Soul Blast Sora ever, because you won't be able to run your Vanguard if you Soul Blast Sora, but as long as you don't Soul Blast Sora, you get to add this back to your hand, play it again, reactivate it. So it's a nice one to recycle. Obviously, you've got your Enlightened Age Dragon, which if you've Persona Road, you Soul Blast one again, and you get to add up to 2 orders from the drop back to your hand, and you gain 5k. So again, more cycling. If you Persona Road, you get to use this. You get to recycle them back. You get 2 cards back from your hand. It's just, there's no bad part about that. The only thing I would say is it will change maybe when the new card comes out in set 10, which allows you to play 2 orders, get searches an order and plays 2 orders. That's quite nice. This may be changing. The reason Enlightened Age, the reason the Fighting Dragon is in there is to give you an extra attack. So you discard it on the swing of your Vanguard, and then you counterblast 1 and it gets called. So you would swing with something like Enlightened Dragon or this, and then overcall it. You lose the effect of gaining the extra 5k from this because it won't be on the board, but you'd get it if it was the second swing, which is nice. It gives you another attack, a little bit more pressure. It's only a 10k and it's not the best, but it gives you that extra, if you run out of rear guards on the board, when you discard with Enlightened Age Dragon, as long as you've discarded it during your turn, you can counterblast and play it. So it means your discarding isn't meaning you're losing cards indefinitely. And then obviously Fry High is just incredible in the deck because it searches for your Persona Rides, which obviously you would want the Persona Ride every turn at least to be able to get it. You don't get the other effect, but you get to counterblast 1, discard a card from hand, which if you discard that, you get to play it, search for your Persona Ride. So a great card. As I said, sort of a test build, but these are my grade 2 lineups because I feel like as long as you've got a strong grade 2 presence on the front, you're going to do well with this deck because you've got such a presence of attacking force with multiple attacks and a Brand Gate. I'm running Bulb Mine, but I'm unsure whether I'm going to run Bulb Mine or the other monster which counter charges. But Bulb Mine, simple. You do the attack, you soul charge it, you counter charge 1. So it's a nice generating soul, 8k booster, and gets you more counter blast. 4 perfect guards. I am not running the Blitz order. If grade 4s come back a bit better, I might, but I'm not running it at the moment because Avantgarda is quite popular. I do feel like there'll be mirror matches and there will be that time when I go to use a Blitz order and they've used the order that stops the Blitz orders and then you die. Trigger lineup. I'm running 7 crits. I am actually running 5 non-effect crits and 2 effect crits. You don't need a Soul Charger as much in this deck, but you do need that extra 5k sometimes, and getting that extra 5k with the basic triggers is usually quite a good thing. 4 draws, because more cards in hand is always good. Obviously the Brand Gate over trigger. 3 normal heals and 1 effect heal. I am thinking of changing it to the new effect heal to give you the extra shield against when you're placing something like Dragon Tree. So yeah, that's the Avantgarda deck profile, the basis of the deck. As I said, it is a sort of standard build and a build on like working on and changing things up. There's, as I said, with the combos, there's some nice stuff you can do. Obviously you've got Combine Rushers, but you don't have that many orders in the deck, so you won't often get the 10k boost from the Combine Rushers. So, but that doesn't matter too much. It's just about the extra attack because you're giving that extra power with your Vanguard's ability anyway. Thanks for checking it out.